Every club.
Every day.
The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Yes. Hello and welcome to the Daily Arsenal Podcast, the only place to catch all things Arsenal 5 days a week where we get no sleep. I am your host, Esmonde Cole, joined today by Joshua, still recovering from Carnival, Duncan, and two very special guests in the form of the Daily Brighton Podcast. Please welcome the tag team duo of Jamie Guerra and Joe Richardson. Joe, you still riding high after that last-minute winner against United?
Oh, honestly, we were cooking. And do you know, the best thing about this is that as soon as that goal went in, I was on Twitter straight away, logged into the GSPN Brighton account and at Man United, GSPN done straight away. They were talking too much, mate.
Yeah, they talk a bit too much. They were
talking a bit too much. I loved it. Injected into my veins, mate, honestly.
Yeah, inject that. Did you like the Pedro goal, JD?
Oh, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. When I saw it there, I was just like, same on United. And you know, I was going to put my bets on. I was going to put United to lose, and I just didn't do it. And I feel like I should have done it.
Why do you trust your instincts, bro? Why do you trust your instincts? That cross.
I was just too busy. I just wasn't thinking calmly, you know what I mean?
Well, that cross did wonders, and this is the Crossover Thursday where we'll duke it out with our rival GSPN team before a big, beefy PL game, and that is today in the form of FM Wonder Kids Factory, Brighton Hove Albion. We'll be evaluating our respective 100% records, debating the true danger men, and predicting the all-important scoreline come this Saturday. But first, your overall thoughts on our two first matches, JD. Can we be a bit more fluid, do you think, against this Brighton team?
I don't think so. You know, I think the first two matches were not difficult games, but decent games. I think with Brighton, I think that could be a bit of a bogey one for us. You know, I think the way they've been playing, I don't know if with Brighton, they always seem to find, whether they get rid of their managers, get rid of their players, they always find a way to play good football. It's a bit annoying.
It is a bit annoying. Like Jamie, can I just throw this stat at you? Since 17-18, so when you guys joined the Premier League again, Brighton have 7 wins over United, only 1 behind City. Why are Brighton so many clubs bogey teams?
Well, I think it's just the way we play. We play without any fear whatsoever, no matter who comes in. We've got a mindset at the club. It comes from the higher up. It doesn't matter who we sell. It doesn't matter who we bring in. We're just always, the mindset is there that we are actually a team that wants to compete, never takes their foot off the gas, wants to attack teams, and that's where it comes from.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying because now you guys are the sellers. Now you guys are the spenders. 172 million so far in this transfer window. But you talked about attacking prowess. We, the Arsenal, have not conceded a goal against Brighton for over a year, since May 2023. But they have a high XG so far this year, Joe. And Arsenal have won their first 2 games in the top flight campaign without conceding for the 3rd time in their history, previously doing so in the 24-25 season and 71-72. Do you think you're going to score against us? I think we're going to keep a clean sheet, but do you think we're going to score against us?
I don't know, because, you know, Arsenal have this little plot armour that I like to call, you play 4 centre-backs across there, and you've also got Thomas Partey and you've got Declan Rice in there, so your golden boy Saliba's got quite a lot of protection. He's got his boys with him. But I don't know if you've seen, but there's a certain striker who actually might used to roam the pitches at Emirates once upon a time.
Oh, that guy Welbs. Yeah, we'll talk about him. We'll talk about him. Don't you worry. I mean, like, you call it plot armor. We just call it good signings, right, JD?
Yeah, 100% good signings.
Yeah. Bitch bash bosh. Good signings. I mean, like, do you think we're going to keep another clean sheet against Brighton? I mean, they scored 5 this season. The XG has been 1.4 versus Everton and 2.1 versus United. I mean, that's easy against United, isn't it? It's not hard.
It's easy against Everton as well.
But we're no pushovers, obviously, with the clean sheets. Do you think we're going to keep one, or do you think we might concede?
I don't know, you know, because this is obviously a completely different test for us now. The level we're now going from essentially probably one of the worst, even though last season Everton's defence, they were decent, second most clean sheets in the league, but they didn't have Branthwaite, so they got absolutely cooked. Manchester United, basically the same. De Ligt came on and he got lost, and then we scored a last-minute winner. So
what's a De Ligt, bro? I don't know what the De Ligt. What's a De Ligt? Is that some sort of like chocolate eclair? Like
I don't know. To be fair,
that's good.
I think he just stumbled on the pitch because he didn't know where he was. So, yeah, but this is a different Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White with his booty shorts. I saw that. Don't think I didn't see those booty shorts. Yeah, and trying to intimidate us in the tunnel. I don't know how he can be intimidated by Ben White, but yeah, we could. I think there's a pretty big chance.
JD, you gonna take that? This is aura we're talking about. Josh, are you gonna take that? Like what?
Back garden, me. Back garden. You got to show some respect.
Trust. Back garden. You know.
Ben White with friends like that.
Yeah. You know what? We scored in your back garden with who? Yeah. Leonardo Trossard. 14 Premier League goals. Arsenal. As an Arsenal player, he's been a substitute, the highest share of any player to score 10 plus goals for the club in the competition with 43%. I mean, like, Josh, do you think he's going to score again? To be honest, it's another question. Is he going to start?
I think he has to start. I think Martinelli he just didn't look sharp enough. I don't know if he's not working on his fitness or he's got no motivation at the moment, but he just didn't look fit enough for me. So Trossard, if I was him and I didn't start, I'll be banging on Arteta's door. He's like, look, mate, what one would want to do? You know what I mean? Like, I'm putting goals in, I'm putting the shift in. I think he had like one touch. I think he scored with his first touch.
Yeah, first touch in the second half. Yeah.
What more do you want from him? So, yeah, I definitely think he will start. And I think you give him half a chance, I think he definitely will score.
Jamie, do you have any love lost for Leandro Trossard or not?
Well, I can say he's certainly better than, as a man that was gutted to see him go, he's still certainly better than Martinelli. Martinelli, after this injury, I'm not going to lie, he's not looked as sharp as he once was. I think he might slightly be washed. I mean, still young player, obviously.
Big words you're using there.
Oh, yeah, I know, that's your golden boy. Arsenal fans love raving about this player. He's all right. He's no Trossard. But I will tell you one thing. If I see Trossard celebrate against us again, I will be livid. The audacity of that guy, the last time he scored against us, to actually celebrate after all we did for him, I was livid.
Wasn't it more all he did for you?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know how you do with relationships like that. I think he was giving it more. I mean, but talking about, attacking players, Nketiah looks to be on the move to Crystal Palace. We're going to be a little short up top, Joshua. I'll throw this to either one of you. Actually, I'll throw it to Joe. Would any one of you take Nketiah?
No, absolutely not. No.
Wow, really?
Wow. Would you give that email?
No. To be fair, we don't need to speak about Prime R9 because we've already got Prime R9 at the club. Welbeck's there already. We got João Pedro, and obviously we have Ferguson as well, and now we have Ritter. So to be honest, there's not really much. I don't know how much you guys rate him. Obviously, not that much because he's gone. But
what's in our mouths? We haven't seen them yet.
Oh, they're Arsenal fans. They're going to rate everyone way too highly.
Yeah,
that's not true. I don't do that. I
don't know if you listen to any of our podcasts. Josh is a hard taskmaster.
No, there's no chance. I don't think there would just be no point really because he's not like as versatile as the attacking players that we have. And we have literally like 8 wingers. So there's no point. I know he's a striker, but we have enough cover on the wings, and then we have 4 players that can play through the middle, so there'd be absolutely no point.
Interesting. Well, on that bombshell, we're going to take a quick break to recuperate from Jose's fire speech there.
Do you have a story to tell that the world needs to hear? Have you struggled with reaching new audiences who are engaged with your story? It might be time for you to start a podcast. Let me tell you about a platform we use here at Global Sports Podcast Network. Zencastr makes it easy to start a high-quality podcast built for growth from day one. With 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes ums, ahs, you knows, and 22 other speech patterns, Zencastr makes it super easy to start a podcast that sounds great. Ready to tell your story? Check out the link in the show description to learn more about Zencastr.
Yes. Welcome back to the show, the Daily Arsenal Podcast. This is the crossover Thursday with the Brighton boys, and we're going to be talking about the danger men. But first, I want to talk about the danger men not on the pitch, but the manager, only 31, took over from St. Pauli from relegation peril to touching distance of promotion by achieving 10 wins in a row in April 2023. Unbelievable stuff. And then got them promoted the next season. What's impressed you the most, Jamie, with Fabian?
Oof. I think there's clearly an idea to be still possession based. I think the fact, or I'll tell you what has actually impressed me the most, is the fact that his age hasn't stopped him from taking command of the team. I saw a video earlier of him training with the guys. He is very much a player coach. The guy that wants to get involved in training, the guy that's bigging up his players. And Jason Steele came out and said it, who's older than Hertzler. He came out and said from day one, there was no impression that he was old or that he was so young. He was old for his years. He came across straight away as the boss. So they all respect him immediately, and I think he garners that respect. And if we carry on picking up these results, then the respect will just keep on building.
Yeah, hopefully you don't pick up a result against us. But like, have you been impressed with this young boy off the block, Fabian, Joshua?
Yeah, nah, I have been. Honestly, I mean, again with Brighton's recruitment, top to bottom, it's just impressive. Doesn't matter who they lose or whatever they do, they just seem to find a way. And how he's got them playing and everything. I mean, you can't, especially the last minute goal against United, you can't but not like watching Brighton play. I think not playing really good football. Even though you lot been dissing Arsenal this whole podcast, I thought it was a friendly chat. But
Yeah, I thought it was friendly too. I
don't know how you be shot shots with us and right, no offense, I think a good season. You finished 10th. Is that a good season for you guys? Roughly. Yeah.
Let's get the trophies out, guys.
All right, speaking of a guy who's won trophies, then that guy Welbs. I know, Joe, you've been chomping at the bit to talk about your guy.
This
2 goals, 1 assist this season. I mean, how are you getting the best out of him? This is unbelievable. 25 goals in 111 appearances for you guys. 8 more than our time at Arsenal with 88 appearances. How are you getting the best out of that guy Welbs?
To be honest, I think it's just his. I didn't even know that he had this in the locker, to be honest with you. But he's sort of dropping into this. He's sort of dropping into this like false nine, and his link-up play is fantastic, to be honest. Especially against Everton, the way that he was just sort of getting in those pockets and sort of picking out Minte or if it was Matoma, and there's a little bit of like, okay, he was sort of coming into João Pedro's space because he was playing in the 10, but he just has, his movement is so good off the ball, and once he does come in and play that pass, he's right spinning in behind and straight in there to get on the end of chances. And we've just trusted him. And I think obviously with Ferguson having his injury issues and his fitness problems at the moment, he's sort of had that clear run into the side, and he's just worked wonders. It's really, really good to see actually, because he's definitely one of the most likable guys that are sort of around. So.
Yeah, 100%, a very, very likable guy. I mean, like, rumor has it, Jamie, on the street that you said that that guy Wells is like the best false nine in like recent history. Is that true?
Well, he's currently on a golden boot charge, competing with Erling Haaland.
Wow!
So
the reports are true. Wow. Wow.
This guy, I reckon is going to at least score 30 this season. I'll be disappointed if he doesn't.
30 goals.
Easily. Nah, obviously, maybe not 30. Maybe half that, and then half that again, and I'll be happy. I think the question for you guys is, are you happy with your current striker situation, or could you do with that guy Wells?
The problem is you have like the most optimistic person in Joshua Duncan who loves Kai Havertz, absolutely loves Kai Havertz. So you know what? I'm going to leave it to him. What do you think? What's your response to that question, Joshua?
I'm really not happy at all. I mean, we just have Havertz up front. I mean, I know, Edwin, you think he's amazing and you think he's world class, but I can't.
You're putting words in my mouth. Never said world class. I just said he's great.
You're on his payroll. Somehow you get paid. You're his agent or agent's friend or close friends with. I don't know, but you defend him like you lot are brothers or his family.
You were already getting fired. Now this is friendly fire.
But all jokes aside, now we're pretty sure up front. I think definitely someone in. And you know what? Would I take Welbeck or Nketiah? That's a really hard one. I think Eddie just. You know. Honestly, I
That sort of
think
sums it up for any get it in there. I'll be honest. Let's be real. It's all.
Well,
I hope he doesn't listen to this because he won't ever again after.
well, I want to talk about another forward player. I mean, like Pedro's last minute winner versus United. I replayed that a couple of times because it was beautiful, and I hate United. Do you think, Joe, this is his season to shine? 6 goals in Europa last season. Can he get some more in the Premier League?
Yeah, we've spoken about him quite a lot because as a forward player, he sort of has almost every attribute that you need. And for some reason, I think he scored 6 penalties, maybe even 9 in all competitions, like 9 penalties, something ridiculous like that. And in terms of like non-penalty goals, I think there might have only been like 5 or 6. So it's just obviously a goal's a goal, whatever. But it's just being able to like trust him in those moments where we are a goal down or we're trying to push for a win, and he needs to sort of come up with that moment of magic. But he has that in the locker, and it's just. He had a couple of injury problems here and there last season where he was sort of like in and out of the side. And if he was to be able to get a really good run going and sort of like being able to build up form, then I think honestly the sky's the limit for him. I think he's got so much potential, such a high ceiling, and he is a danger man because he can sort of create out of nothing.
Yeah, it's true. He looked brilliant. He looked like he had maybe changed his regime in terms of preseason. He looked fitter, he looked stronger, he looked faster. He just looked great.
Yeah,
But
he got dreads as well.
Yeah. But speaking of someone with a high ceiling, Bukayo Saka, another goal involvement for him. Joshua, this guy is the third youngest player to reach 100 Premier League wins behind Rooney and Fabregas. Do you think he can cause havoc come this Saturday?
Yeah, I see. I think we're gonna run wrong rings right now. To be honest with you,
fight and talk.
No, Saka, he's the golden boy. Do you know what I mean? He is what Arsenal is today. You know, you take him out of that team again. I don't know who goes on that right. I mean, maybe your friend Vieira. I don't know.
What?
Yeah. I realise people that I don't like, you seem to like. So I'm guessing.
All right. We get on so well at the Daily Arsenal podcast. If Jamie and Joe, you haven't realised.
Just a quick one actually. I'm a little bit worried about Saka against Hinchelwood. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm not going to even elaborate. I'm just going to say I'm worried.
Yeah.
And then when the game comes, watch what happens, and then you'll understand why I said it.
Okay. Well, that gets us into our predicted lineups, and we'll be talking about potential lineups and predicted scorelines right after this quick break.
This podcast is part of the Global Sports Podcast Network, the only network bringing you exclusive daily news and views on your Premier League team. The Premier League, women's football, and fantasy football. A unique listening experience that puts fans first, bringing you the very latest breaking news from your team. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and make us your first listen every day. Global Sports Podcast Network. Every club, every day.
That is every club, every day, and it's Arsenal versus Brighton. Soon come in the Premier League, and we're talking predicted lineups. Jamie, who you got? Same team, or do you think someone's going to be throwing a spanner in the work?
Yeah, so we were talking about this on yesterday's pod. Me and Joe think it will be mostly the same team, but we think our new signing, Matt O'Reilly, might get a call up over James Milner, and Matt Swiffer might, if he's fit and ready to play. He had a last-minute knock against Man United, which ruled him out for the game, even on the bench. In the last game, but I think if we have both of them fit, healthy, ready to go, I think we might see a Matt O'Reilly and Matt Swiffer centre mid partnership instead of James Milner and Billy Gilmore.
Interesting. James Milner did have a good game against Man United, nearly scored a goal. But just a quick word on O'Reilly. I was watching Sky Sports News today, and he was getting interviewed, and it didn't really seem like he wanted to be there. Is there something in the air in Brighton? Like, the thing is, that's not even a joke. Like, if you watch the tape, he just looked so like, I can't be asked. I just really stop asking me questions. The reporter was like, what's your favourite spot in Brighton? He's like, I haven't spent that long here, so
he just got there.
To be good to him, like, that's facts. But like, do you think he's gonna start, Joe?
To be fair, as soon as I hear that, we got that Matt O'Reilly there we land. As soon as we seen that, I think, to be honest, we're so short in that position in general. We have a lot of sort of tens slash like sort of just tens really, and we have a couple who can sit in there, but he's more of an 8/a 10 who has also played six quite a lot. So I think he'll probably slot in there. And also he pretty much had the whole preseason and he's played twice already, like competitive games for Celtic. So he should be up to match fitness, at least to some sort of extent. So I'd like to see him in there. Give Milner a rest because he's old. So.
Milner's great though.
Milner's great.
Yeah,
it's boring but great.
That's why he's so likable. But for you, Joshua, do you think Timber starts again?
Oh, 100%. I don't see why he doesn't start. I mean, I think the performance against Villa, you can see on that. I think last season on the left-hand side, I think that's probably why we lost both games. We were just a bit weak there defensively. But with Timber there, especially going forward as well, you know, when he slots into midfield, I think he's great on the ball. He can pick up a pass. And you know what the best thing is? He can tackle. You know, we've had modern day fullbacks these days just can't tackle these. I don't get it. You know, they can do the forward stuff, but they just can't do the defense stuff.
They're too busy attacking.
Zinchenko.
So yeah, no, he definitely starts, man. I don't see why he doesn't.
Yeah. I hope he starts again. I mean, we got a couple of returning players. Obviously, we talked about that guy Welbs and Trossard. Jamie, who do you think is going to be doing the most damage? Welbeck or Leandro?
Well, I hate to carry on bigging him up, but I think it is going to be that guy Welbs once again.
Well, and if you hate it, then don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
I reckon, well, we never know. Will Arteta carry on playing Martinelli? You know, they say the delusion is just doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. And unfortunately, Martinelli is not providing those different results. Arteta might just be delusional.
Wow. You're going to take that, Josh. You're going to take that. This guy's actually coming for us, you know. Like
he is. I don't know what. You know, it is. They're little fish in a big pond. You know what I mean? We don't need to retaliate to Brian. I'm not going to. He starts on your team.
I actually don't know. I actually genuinely don't know. I'm not having the Brazilian Matt Jarvis.
Wow, that's the first I have heard that. You heard it here, live and direct.
Watch Matt Jarvis tape and then watch Martinelli, and you'll just see the same thing. But
no, I think I've watched Matt Jarvis, and I think you're wrong. I think you're so wrong. But Josh, who do you think is going to be the returning player who's going to cause that damage? Welbs or Tross?
It really depends if Trossard starts. That's what it depends on. And with Arteta, we just don't know with him. So if he starts, I think Trossard probably will, run rings around Brighton. I'm not gonna lie to you, even if Welbeck does start, I don't see him doing anything anyway. To be honest, I don't see him probably get a shot on target. To be fair,
wow.
I don't see him do anything.
Wow. Joe, you gonna take that? I feel like I'm just stirring today. Just stirring, like, you gonna take that?
we can't have Welb slander. Do you know what I mean? We just can't have it. When he pops up in that back post header over Timber, right? So just testing out that ACL injury, see if he's all right. Slam dunking on him at the back post. Yeah, you better believe I'll be running to Twitter. You will see me. Just like Josh was running to Carnival, I'll be running to Twitter. I'll be straight on there, mate. Straight on there.
All right, man. That's a bold prediction, but I'll throw it back to you. Predict a scoreline for this fixture. We're 3-3 against you. Talking about dunking on people. We dunked on you 3 times. Do you think you can beat us?
Is that to me?
Yeah, that was to you, Joe. Yeah.
I
called you out.
Yeah. I didn't hear. Yeah, 3-1.
Who's scoring for you?
Danny Welbeck, brace, and do you know what? I'll give one to Matt O'Reilly. Box crash, header. Son,
Okay.
And then you can have Saka or whatever. I don't really care.
Okay. Very bold, very aloof at the same time. Jamie, you predict a scoreline?
Well, I'm gonna go potentially with Arsenal. I'm afraid I will.
Wait.
After all this slander I've been giving you guys, I do think unfortunately, your wingers, if Trossard plays, but Saka against Hinchelwood, me and Joe are concerned.
I'm so concerned.
Trossard against Veltman, I am slightly concerned. And I think maybe you will have more possession. But I do have a bit of hope.
Maybe.
Maybe. You two haven't watched Matt O'Reilly and Matt Swiffer play.
Neither of you, mate.
No, we have not seen that partnership yet.
I've seen YouTube
We're in for a
highlights of
treat.
Matt O'Reilly. It's all right. It's decent, mate.
But I want to give us a bit of hope, you know. I think it was out of the last 4 times we've played at Arsenal, and bear in mind it wasn't the last time, but we have won the last 3 times we've gone to the Emirates. We dashed your hopes in 2022 of winning the league title by an easy 3-0 win.
That was a bit jarring.
Had more possession. I just want to remind you guys of that time, you know.
Yeah, thanks.
Yet another trophy you didn't win.
Appreciate that.
At the hands of Brighton.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Also, we visited in 2022 again the EFL Cup. Knocked you out of that as well. You thought you were going to roll out like your subs and beat us. Not against the Seagulls, mate.
There's a lot of squawking, Josh. Do you think they're even going to score against us, my G?
I think they will score. I think they do create a lot of chances. And this season, even though we've had 2 clean sheets, we have again Ollie Watkins. I don't know how he didn't score.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm guessing he weren't match fit, or he's still thinking about the Euro loss. I don't know.
He is an Arsenal fan, though, so you know.
Yeah.
But he was Arsenal. Look what he did at Emirates.
That's true.
Emirates. So I think it'll be a 2-1. You know, I think it'll be
2-1?
a close game. But
So with 2-1 from Josh, 3-1 from Joe, and Jamie, what did you predict?
I'll go 2-0.
2-0. Oh, so you won't
Jesus
score.
Christ, mate.
Sensational.
No, well,
I'm trying to double down here.
Help me!
Help me!
Pull Jamie aside before the show. Is like, listen, this is the narrative. You're gonna double down on all of these illegal narratives, and you're gonna love it. I don't care if you hate it. You're gonna love it. Well, I'm also going to predict 2-0 because you're not going to score against us because we are the Arsenal. You've already, Joe, you named our defense. I mean, you call it plot armor, like Josh said. It's just good players, mate. Just good players.
Yeah.
What's the point of Calafiori? What's he going to do?
What do you mean, what's the point? 5
He's
margins,
just
man.
he's just modelling on the bench.
Modelling?
Yeah.
Yeah, look. He's not Rob Holding anymore, you know. We ain't got that anymore.
You see Calafiori's hairline? You see Rob Holding's hairline? Different levels. Different levels. Well, that is it for us today. Did you like what we had to say? Well, be sure to show us some love and subscribe to Global Sports Podcast Network for all things Premier League, WSL, Serie A, and more. You can find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify by searching Daily Arsenal and Daily Brighton if you want to. But it's good. It's a good podcast. It's a good podcast. I'll give them that.
Given how much crap we've given them, I doubt any Arsenal fans are going to come over.
Don't write any bad reviews because that won't help us either.
Yeah.
My name is Esmonde Cole. They were Joshua Duncan, Jamie Guerra, and Joe Richardson. And this was your daily digest of all things Arsenal. Take care.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.